What if I told you the biggest news in gaming isn't about a new console or a blockbuster release, but about how you and I are actually spending our money? A new report just dropped, and it paints a fascinating picture of the Australian gaming landscape. At first glance, the headlines sound a bit grim. Australian consumer spending on video games reportedly dipped by 3% year-on-year in 2024, with players spending a total of $3.8 billion Australian dollars. You hear down 3%, and you might think the party's over, that gaming is somehow losing its grip. But that's just the surface story, and trust me, the real narrative here is far more intriguing. Digging a little deeper, we see some clear shifts. Traditional retail channels, the places where you used to pick up physical games or a new console, took a significant hit. Hardware sales, things like new PlayStation or Xbox consoles, plummeted by a substantial 17%. And if you still buy physical game discs, well, those sales were down by a staggering 34% at retail. It's almost like watching a Blockbuster store slowly empty out, isn't it? This 19% overall drop in traditional retail video game sales clearly tells us something. The way we acquire our games is fundamentally changing. But here's where the story gets really interesting. While physical sales dwindled, certain areas actually thrived. First-party peripherals, things like the PlayStation Portal or those sleek new DualSense controller variants, actually saw a 14% boost. It seems we're happy to accessorize our gaming lives, even if we're not buying as many new consoles or discs. And then we come to the digital realm, which truly saved the day. While full-game digital sales saw their own 14% dip, yes, even digitally people are buying fewer standalone full-price games. Other digital purchases exploded. In-game purchases, those microtransactions for skins, battle passes, or extra currency, surged by 7%. And subscriptions, like Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, or Apple Arcade, shot up by a whopping 16%. When you add all that up, digital video game sales actually increased by 1% year-on-year. This is a massive shift, isn't it? It's like we're moving from owning a library of games to subscribing to an all-you-can-play buffet with a side order of cosmetic upgrades. And the biggest leap of all? Mobile gaming. That sector jumped a full 7% in 2024. Think about it. Your phone is a powerful gaming machine now, and the improvements in performance for even mid-range and affordable phones have truly opened the floodgates for mainstream mobile engagement. Gaming is everywhere in our pockets, more accessible than ever. So while overall spending saw a slight downturn, it wasn't because we stopped gaming. This 3% dip, as the industry body IGA points out, happens against a backdrop of pretty dire economic circumstances worldwide. We are all feeling the pinch, and our purchasing behaviors are simply reflecting that. Consumers are cutting back on big-ticket spending like holidays, but they are still willing to spend on smaller discretionary items, like in-game purchases or a new controller. This isn't a story of decline, it's a story of evolution. It's about how we as gamers are adapting to a changing economy and a shift towards convenience and accessibility. We are embracing digital storefronts and subscription services, often to offset the rising cost of full-price games or simply for the ease of access. The experts, IGA and data partner Newzoo, still expect to see positive growth in the coming years, forecasting 3.3% growth between 2024 and 2027, with Australia even outpacing the average global growth. So the gaming world isn't shrinking, it's just reshaping itself. It's less about what we own and more about how we access, consume, and experience our games. What do you think about this shift? Does it change how you approach buying games or how you play? We would love to hear your thoughts. Share them with us and make sure you subscribe to stay on top of the latest in tech and gaming.